Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a perfect pencil skirt for ladies. These are the equipment we'll be using: my measurements, my tape, my tailor's chalk, my scissors, of course my pink thread, the material, the pins. Yes. Now first of all, I'm gonna have to fold my fabric into four because I'll be cutting the front and the back together for perfect measurement. Also, this is me checking to make sure my 2-inch zipper allowance is there, and I folded it perfectly. After that, I will be taking my horizontal measurements. My starting point from this visible line on the fabric, that will be my starting point. That is, I would have to cut off that visible line when I get to cutting my material. So my measurement is going to start from that line down. So first of all, I'm going to be taking my horizontal measurements. Okay, that is what you see me doing, trying to explain to you that I'm going to be starting from that line. Thank you. My horizontal measurements, first of all, I'll be measuring out my hip point, which is 8.5, but I'll be taking out 2.5 inches, which is for my waistband. So this is me marking my hip point at 8.5 inches and marking my skirt length at 19 inches, but I'll be adding 2 inches extra for folding allowance. That's for the hemming allowance, making it 21 inches. Yes, that is me marking that. Okay, then I'll now go ahead to take my horizontal measurements. Sorry, it was meant to be vertical measurements. So now I'll be taking my horizontal measurements. First of all, I'll be taking my waist. My waist is 35 divided by, I've already calculated it. Yeah, I'll be taking my waist 8.95, but I'll be adding 3 inches allowance. Whenever you're sewing, endeavor to add adequate allowance, just in case your customer gets to add, they can easily extend their clothes, or if it's not properly fitted on them, so they can have the option of extending the size of the dress. So I always add 3 inches allowance so that it should be suitable for my customer. So yes, this is me marking my waist. I will go ahead and mark my hips divided by 4 plus the 3 inches allowance. That is 11 plus 3. That is 14. I'll go ahead and mark that. Yes, that's what you see me doing now. And after marking that, I will go ahead and connect my points. I'll go ahead and connect my points from my waist to my hips and then down to my skirt length, which is at my knee level actually. So yeah, this is me trying to connect it, trying my best to draw a straight line and a still curvy line at the same time. Shit is hard, forget. Yes, okay, I've done that successfully. That is literally everything in drafting a perfect pencil skirt. Now if I want it to be a straight skirt, I go straight, but if I want it to be penciled, I like I slant it in more. That is what you see me doing. If you want your skirt to be straight, you just go straight. If you want it to be pencil, you slant it. So the tightness or the way it's pencil depends on how much you take it in. I'll go ahead and cut it now, and I've gone ahead to cut it out. As you can see, I have my front and my back pattern. This is my front and these are my back patterns. Honestly done. And I'll now proceed to cutting my band. Yes. So to cut my band, I'm gonna head to fold my fabric into two. First thing I'm going to do is to take my tape and take the measurement of my skirt waist length. As you can see, that's what I'm doing. Because I added allowance and I added zipper allowance for the back, I'm meant to take the measurement to know the exact measurement of the band I'm going to use, because I can't just use my normal waist. I have to add all those allowances back so I can have a good skirt with all my, so the band will not be short as well. So after taking the measurements, I will place the measurements on the folded fabric. That is, my measurement was coming out for the front band 12, for the back band 13. I forgot to add that I removed 1 inch from the zipper allowance. Instead of 2, I made it 1 inch. so that I don't get to mistake it easily. So first thing I'm doing now after taking the horizontal measurements is to go in for my vertical measurement. If you remember, we removed 2.5 for the waistband. So instead of on a normal, some people usually take the full measurements on a fold, which is 5 inches, but I like to be sure that I have my 5 inches on both sides with the quarter inch on each side. So first of all, I marked my 2.5 inches and quarter inch, that is 2.5 and quarter for the front, then another 2.5 and quarter for the back, because the band is going to be on a fold, so that on both sides I have 2.5 and still a quarter inch for joining it onto the skirt. So I finished marking this 5.5 inch. I go ahead and mark it out to be really clear so I can cut it perfectly. That is what you see me doing. Yes, making sure my lines are visible enough for me to be able to cut. I'm sorry for blocking the camera. I'm going to do better next time. Thank you. So I'll go ahead and cut out my band. Now I've cut my band. I have my front and my back. For my back band, I go ahead to split it into two because I like joining my zipper. I like joining my band before I add my zipper, so everything can sit pretty. After splitting my zipper, I'm going to go ahead to the joining of the skirt, which is the main thing we came for today. I have my bands already. Now first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my front band to the front part of my skirt. I'll first of all put the band on a fold, just like I told you. It's going to be on a fold with 2.5 on each end. I'm going to put the front against the front with it laying pretty like this. I will sew on that edge as you see me showing you. The same thing applies for my back piece also. As you can see, my back piece, as I lay it out, put the band on fold as well. Put the band on fold as well and sew on it. I will quickly go to my sewing machine and do this, and I will be back to show you the results. I've gone ahead to join my bands, and as you can see, I've placed my back piece front against front and marked out my 1-inch zipper allowance, and vertically I took 7 inches down. I took 7 inches down for my zip and 13 inches for where my slit is going to start. And I went ahead to confirm that my slit is up to 5 inches because that is what I wanted. Then after the 7 inches for my zip, I went ahead to take extra 2 inches, making it 9 inches I'm leaving out for my zip. For that excess part of the zip that is going to where the excess part is going to be, that's the 2 inches I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and start sewing from this 7 inches to where the slit started. Yes, and I've gone ahead to do that. As you can see, I've done that and it's sitting pretty. You can see my zipper allowance and you can see my slit perfectly overlapping. Yes, I wanted an overlapping slit because I feel it's prettier and all, and it's more decent. If you want an overlapping slit, what you're going to do is to sew in an L form. You sew in an L form to your slit point. You get that overlapping slit. Then I'm going to go ahead and attach my zipper and I'll be back. Yes, I've attached my zipper. As you can see, everything is looking so nice and pretty right now. Yes, the zip is sitting pretty. Make sure you sew your zip. As you're sewing your zip, if you want it to come out like this, make sure that you don't drag it. You allow it to relax and when you sew. Yes, I'm done attaching my zip. Now we're going to go ahead and place the front against the back to shape on the skirts. We are almost done with this project. Yes. Now as you can see, I'm placing my back and my front piece front against front, laying it perfectly, making sure everything is in line. I'm going to be shaping my skirt from the front because there's a middle line. If you can see the middle, there's a middle line in my front, so that is going to be my starting point for taking the measurement. I'm going to be shaping this using my measurement divided by 4, just as we did when we were cutting the skirt. So I will be using my tape to first of all mark my waist, starting from that line, that visible line in the middle. I'll mark my waist which is 8.5. This is minus the 3 inches we used to add. This 3 inches now we're not adding it because it is an allowance. So I am just going to mark my exact waist. It's meant to be 8.95, but I want it to be fitted and tight on my waist, so I'm going to come up to 8.5. so it's going to snatch my waist. Yes, I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Mark my 8.5. That is what you see me doing right now, marking my 8.5. After I've marked that, I will successfully mark my hip point, which is 8.5. Starting from the beginning of the band, I'll mark my 8.5. I'm going to mark this on both sides of the skirt. Yes, mark my 8.5. This is me trying to make sure my points are visible enough. Yes, and as you can see, it matched with what I cut earlier, which means that I actually sewed my band the way I was meant to. Okay, I've marked my 8.5 on the other part. Now I'm going to be taking my hip measurements, which is 11. It's me marking my hip measurements on one side and also doing that on the other side. Yes, taking my hip measurements, making sure it's visible enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and join these 2 points from my waist to my hips, and then slanting it down to the length of the skirt, which is my knee length, or my upper knee length actually. This is me trying to make sure my line is straight enough and visible enough for you to see. Yes, trying to connect my points and not give myself sharp edges so I don't end up with ear looped waist. Yes, trying to curve it perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and join my points on the other side of the fabric. Yes, this is me trying to join my points. I don't know if you could see this. I'm really sorry for my angle for this sake of this tutorial, but I promise I'm going to do a better one. This is our first trial. Yay, thank you. As we are shaping this skirt, please guys, do well to subscribe and follow us for more tutorials. Yes, I'm done shaping in my skirt now. I'm trying to make my lines visible. After making my lines visible, as you see me aggressively trying to do that, I'm going to go ahead to my sewing machine and then sew this down. I've successfully done that, and as you can see, the skirt is looking pretty, it's looking nice, it's looking pink. Everything is set. Like, everything is set. Skirt is on fire. Now I'm going to go ahead and hem the edges of my skirts. Remember, we added 2 inches for hemming, that's for folding. I'm going to double fold. This is how I'm going to double fold it, starting from that slit, the overlap slit part. Double fold it like this, hold it down with a pin first, then sew it round. I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Yes, I'm done doing that and I'm back already. Yes, perfectly hemmed our skirt. Everything is looking so hot. This is so hot, please. And this is pink. So you can see it's really easy to make a short fitted skirt for ladies. If you follow this tutorial, thank you guys. Please make sure to subscribe. Yes, see how it fits perfectly on me. Have you seen this? Like, are you seeing this? What are you telling me? What are you not telling me? See how the bomb one came out like that. Please do well to subscribe for more fun tutorials this year. I love you guys. Bye.